Well, headaches are one of the most prevalent nerve disorders that affects millions of people each year. Unfortunately, many of them can be managed through natural means without even having to reach into the medicine cabinet. And to share some strategies on how to prevent them and how to treat them, Dr. Robert Kipp and his assistant, Brianna Schrum. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having us.
So headaches, I just know they can be so debilitating for people who get them, particularly if they start to get into migraine territory.
Right.
Are we talking about just headaches here, not migraines, or both?
Well, a little bit of both, because ultimately what a headache is, most people don't understand that a headache isn't actually a brain ache. It has to do with all the nerves that surround the blood vessels up in the head, all the nerves that supply the skin, the nerves that go to the muscles where people clench their jaws, and that can create it. So that's really what we're dealing with here, is neurological irritation rather than an actual brain ache.
And I know that oftentimes, in order to treat something properly, you need to know what causes them. So what are the causes?
Well, the most common type of headache is the tension type headache. Obviously, there's no shortage of stress anywhere in the world right now. So unfortunately, that's going to be our most common one, where the nerves at the base of the skull, the ones that wrap up around the side of the head, kind of dive right behind the eye, the ones that interact with the muscles for the jaw, so clenching the teeth really tight, those are the ones that are going to be impacted the most. We've got other types like migraines, cluster headaches, but some of the most common triggers are going to be foods, weather pattern changes, different types of stressors to the body.
So this time of year must be tough if there's a problem with weather temperature changes, because March is crazy.
Yeah, absolutely, and Sam's forecasts, I'll tell you, they always get them.
Really? We should do the headache forecast around here.
Absolutely.
I think just looking at the forecast can sometimes give people headaches. All right, so if you could just kind of tell us, you're talking about natural treatments versus, maybe grabbing the Advil. Well, why treat it naturally versus maybe, going for the aspirin or Advil?
Well, if you can deal with something naturally, it's always better than having to take some sort of chemistry in order to manage something that's going on in the body. See, a headache is not necessarily an issue, it's actually a symptom of another issue. So, like for example, in those tension headaches, if you can remove the tension factor, well, the headache will likely go away and the nerves will calm back down so that you don't experience that symptom anymore. So it's all about management rather than kind of treating the disease, so to speak.
And what are the treatments?
Well, I'll tell you, the biggest one that we can start off with is stretching and just like a light massage. So Brianna's got a couple tips on that.
Exactly like that. So we call it the yes, no, maybe so. And it's a round of 6 stretches. So you hold for 10 seconds each in the yes, and then no, and you'll hold for 10 seconds each.
Oh.
And then maybe so is tilting your head. So you could, for a deeper stretch, you can pull over to the side, like left ear to left shoulder and right ear to right shoulder. And you'll repeat that 3 times.
Oh, that's a great...
For 1 minute.
It feels good anyways. I mean, even if you don't have a headache. And then also monitor stress and tension?
Yep, absolutely. Monitoring stress and tension. Obviously, a lot of us are on different technology all day long. So computers, cell phones, tablets, and using postures. We talked about it in our last segment last month, or a couple months ago. Using that technology, a lot of people's postures is always looking down. So it really puts a lot of stress and strain. So we have a neat little home trick that you can use for stretching out those muscles on a day-to-day basis.
Yes, and I have this over here. I know it looks a little bit strange, but most people at home have a sock and 2 tennis balls. So I just put one in here, and just to demonstrate, I'll put the other one in here.
And what does this do? I'm sorry.
Well, what you're going to do is you're going to take the 2 tennis balls and put them together way at the end of the sock and tie them in. And then you can lay this on the floor.
Right. Lay it on the floor, you'll tie it together. And what it's going to do is a self-massage. And it's going to massage right at the base of the neck and get that tension out of the neck. So you'll lay down on the floor and you'll rock your head up and down. And it's like a self-massage. It really massages those muscles.
That's a good little trick. Foods to avoid. What are those?
Well, the most common ones are going to be sugar, dairy, gluten, salt, any kind of artificial sweeteners, that all creates a lot of headaches.
A lot of inflammation that
A lot
happens.
of this stuff seems preventative, so maybe not
Absolutely.
once you, yeah, that's great stuff. Also, they recommend to get your vision checked, stay well hydrated, and chiropractic adjustments as well can always help.
About a 90% success rate there.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Kip. Thank you so much, Brianna, I apologize. Some great tips right there. And for more information, you can head to WTNH.com. Just click on the On Air tab and pull down to the Good Morning Connecticut weekend section.